Are you a young real estate professional? You're looking to get licensed, you're under 30, and you're just worried about what people are going to think or some issues you're going to run into? Well, in this video, I'm going to cover what I found and some problems I ran into being younger, getting my real estate license. Let's go. What's up, everyone? My name is Cameron Hodge, an agent here with eXp Realty. On this channel, we talk about everything about eXp and also my experience as a newer real estate agent in 2 years since getting licensed, and also my journey as I progress forward. And if you want to get notified every time we have a new video, hit subscribe and the bell icon to be notified every time I drop a new video. So I'm always getting agents just like me reaching out, or even those with more experience reaching out to have conversations about joining eXp or seeing if it's right for them, and I absolutely love it. Even if you're a more seasoned professional and you follow across this channel, I promise you, even those, I have my whole upline and those doing billions of dollars in real estate that I can pull in to have a conversation with you to find if this is the right fit for you. So, like I said, if you need to reach out and you're thinking about going to eXp, call, text, email, whatever you have to do, I have your back when going to eXp Realty. So, being a younger person, getting your real estate license. So when I got licensed, I was I wasn't super young, right? Like I was 26 when I was pushing to get my real estate license. And obviously, like, I didn't initially want to get into the industry. I got pulled into it because someone's like, have you ever thought about getting this? I'm like, no, I haven't. At the time, I was running my own mobile notary business, working that super hard day in and day out. And I got brought into get my real estate license. So I started off as an ISA. I think like most of us being younger, like we're not coming in straight to be an agent. Some of us are. Others, we're usually getting pulled in because I feel like we're getting pulled into either like an assistant role, an ISA position, or some kind of like, paid per hour position in a brokerage. And then either we have intentions to get our license or, just to work there. And eventually we're like, this is the fit for me. So when I got licensed, I think one thing I ran into, when it comes to friends and family and all that, a lot of people, they want to be helpful, but at the same time, it's not like you have a huge track record. I was only 26. It's not like I had a huge track record. I was in the military until 24 and people always knew I had some kind of financial mindset sound and I had done investing already, but people always kind of separate being an agent and investing entirely, and they are separate. So when I made that jump, a lot of them were like, yeah, that's great, man. So good luck, everyone. Yeah. The first day you get licensed, especially being a younger agent, you get licensed and everyone's like, oh, congrats. You wake up the next morning and no one cares. And then reality sets in that you have to do work in order to progress and move forward. So I think a lot of people are concerned about being younger and running into those issues. Thankfully, I have a super hard head and I just kind of do my thing anyways. I really don't care too much what people think. Obviously we're all human. There are times that things get to us, but overall I could care less. I knew I cared, and I knew that I was trying to learn every single day and staying and doing what I was supposed to. So obviously I wasn't doing exactly what I'm doing now and all the mistakes that I made, but I knew that I cared, and I always care about people, and I always had the best intention at heart, so I had no issues. So if you're younger and you're like, oh man, I'm super concerned about getting my license, or what are people gonna think? Step one, like, don't care what they think. If you care and you want to give the best level of service, what does it matter what anyone thinks? Have I run into people and not had clients because they were, they're like, oh, you're young, like you're not a broker, you're just the agent. Like I want the top of the top. Well, there's a couple ways to hit that one, but first, like, obviously don't let it get to you. Like if they're gonna have, like, if you're starting a relationship with someone and you gave the best presentation possible, you have all the information, you answered every single question, and they still have an issue just because you're your age, I promise you probably don't want to be working with them. You're probably not the fit. So it's best just to let them go. I know in the beginning it's super easy, even right now for me, being only 2 years into the business, like I really just want to like accept every deal. Like, so sometimes, like, I've accepted every deal, and I promise you, like, I've had some clients that have just taken my entire life and sucked all my energy into that deal, not because of like issues going wrong, but just because of them as a person, unfortunately. But don't care what they think about your age. Now, one thing like I definitely heard a lot, and I even have been able to win listings with this conversation, is people initially are like, oh, well, they don't care what my age is. They never ask like how long I've been in the business, because I don't tell them right off the bat, hey, I'm new. Obviously if they ask, I'm gonna be honest with them. Like, I always approach honesty is always best, and no matter whether I'm right or wrong, like, I am honest and just give them the truth, which plays out best in any situation. But there have been times where like I don't get I think conversation that's come up more is like, oh, well, you're not a broker. Like, you explain like, no, I'm just an agent. Like, and because a lot of people, like, especially like the older crowd, that they feel like, obviously in today's environment, you can run a team and not have to be a broker. But, a lot of them, like when someone who's been in the industry 10 plus years, like they're going to be a broker. And that's I think sometimes they hold that thought in their head. But on the flip side, while that conversation has come up and they're like, well, I want the top person to broker, you tell them it's like 9 times out of 10, you're not actually going to get the top person on a team. You're going to get someone else on their team. So in the end, you're still getting someone who's in your position to do that. Also, I've also been able to win listings by literally just them being like, wow, you have, and it's because I'm just an energetic person. I just love what I do. It's not, I don't love like, oh, I love houses. I just love everything to do with this business. And there are days where I just want to like go crawl in a corner and cry to sleep. But for the most part, I love everything about it. I love helping agents. I help like sharing information. I make a mistake, I'm like, hey, don't do this, I made the mistake, and I love that. But telling people that they see that energy, they see that excitement, and like the fact that you care, like no matter how experienced you are, if people can tell when you don't care and you're really just trying to hard sell them, it's like, no, it just doesn't work. So if you honestly care, and I won a listing last year, and the guy was just like, wow, like, like I usually use this broker in this location, I've used them for years, but like I feel like on this specific property I need someone who has a ton of energy, because it was an investment property. So I need someone who's going to go out there and fight for me and negotiate. I'm like, well, I can do all those things. I'm like, and obviously newer, like I have all the time to devote to you and making this deal work, and it worked out great. Like obviously because of the current market, we were able to get over asking price even on an investment property, and it all worked out. But I won that because of my age, even though I was only 27 at the time, which for some people, like, you're still super young. Like anything under like 50, like I'm young. Even when I'm 80, I'll probably consider myself young. But like don't let your age get to you. Now, one thing I will tell you is like being newer, it's really easy. Oh, not newer, I'm sorry, but being younger, it's really easy to say like, oh, you say yes to everything. Yes, 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 yes. Like I have all this time in the world. I'm young. I have all, like, especially like I had kids. So I had 2 kids at the time, which is just absolutely chaos. But even if you don't have kids, like it's really easy to say I can devote all the time on yes, yes, yes. Well, I think one of my greatest things I learned is that it's okay to say no. You can tell a client like it's just not working out. They're like, oh, I want to list like 30,000 over what it should be at, because you did your homework. You know what the property should be priced at. Heck, you maybe even asked for help, and like they were like, yep, that's the right price. You can say no. You're not going to be a fit for everyone. Or it's really easy to say yes to all like your sphere, right? You're trying to build your sphere of influence and people, and you're saying, yes, let's meet up, let's do Zoom, let's do all this. It's okay to say no. I feel like being younger, like you're like, oh, I just have to work hard. Yes, yes, yes. But then you start to realize you just burn yourself out, and it does no one any service. If you're burnt out, you're not going to give the best level of service to your clients. I've been there. I made that mistake. Just do not do it. Because in the end, you end up making like a big mistake or something silly, and you're like, oh my, like, you just look ridiculous. So, and then, it's just have the right mindset. Like no matter what, like I don't care what age you are. Is that just because you're young? Like you're gonna have to put in work. It's gonna be hard, and it's not the easiest thing. But like you look long term. Like where do I want to see myself? Like long term. Because really, when you think about it, it can be hard starting younger. Because people kind of sometimes look at you like, hey, I have a young face. Especially when I like shave this off, like I look like a kid. I told my wife she's lucky though when I get older. But at the same time, you're starting young. So by the time you get older, you already have so much of a gap ahead of people, because a lot, I feel like, starting like their mid to late 30s. Like you're already starting in your 20s, so you have so much time to learn, make mistakes, and get better, to where, like, 10 years in the future, when you're still like super young in your 30s, like, you're already crushing it. You could have a team, or wherever you want to be, like, you are established and ready to handle any market swing that comes your way. And that's just kind of how I approach everything, even being younger. It's like, like, I'm starting early, I'm learning. It's kind of, as long as the bills are getting paid, family's taken care of, like, I can keep progressing. Also, if you're younger, so this is like one of the biggest things I can tell for those of you that have kids, like, you're younger and you're like, I need to make a career change that's flexible for my kids. This isn't a flexible business to start with, right? Now, while I had initial pain in the beginning, I was able to work around a schedule to make it work. I am very lucky to have a wife and a family that can help take care of the kids when I need it. But at the same time, like, there are days when she's sick and, like, think life just happens, and I'm having deals, I'm trying to do offers and follow up and do all these things. And in the beginning, I wanted to, hustle. But if you're like me and you have kids and you're younger, just let it go. It's okay. Like, and, like, what I realized is, like, I would always try and avoid things, or, my kids, like, there's never a perfect balance, whether you have kids or you're just trying to hang out with friends. Like, you got to make sure you take care of yourself. I think we as younger people just have a very energetic way to approach things. You have to make sure you take time for yourself, because I think for the first year I just burnt myself out 7 days a week, and I'm still pretty much at that point, but I definitely try and take days more than not. Thankfully, I have my wife there to make sure she reminds me that I do need to take time off and spend it with the family, not working 7 days a week, 365 days a year, because I feel like that's kind of like the mantra that people hear nowadays, is like, you have to work nonstop super hard. I'm like, you have to work hard and you have to put time in. But, like, I've started to put systems and processes in place, and also be very clear with my clients saying, hey, these are my working hours. Like, there's exceptions, and I make exceptions. So especially for my military clients, and, like, they work till like 9 o'clock at night. Like, I'll take a Zoom call and save them time to be able to connect, have an initial consultation. But for the most part, like, I have my set hours that I'm doing business. It's structured, and I don't try and deviate outside of that. And then every Saturday, that's soccer day with my son, because he has his sports and I am going to be there. Does that mean, could I maybe do more business if I work that Saturday? Yeah, probably. I work Sunday. But it's realizing that you have to be able to decide where your line in the sand is and stand by it. Don't just let people walk all over you, because we're here to help people, but at the same time, it's really easy, I think, being younger, to let them walk over you. So just keep in mind that you need to draw your line in the sand, and just slowly, as you learn, just do that. And the last thing I actually want to mention, now that I think about it, is ask for help. I feel like sometimes being younger, it's very easy to jump to it and be like, I know. We don't know. We don't know everything. I don't care if you're 80, 40, 20, 25, like, you don't know everything. I think that one of the best things I did when I started is literally go to anyone and say, I have no idea what I'm doing. Even if I started to get some ground on things, I will always tell people, like, I don't know what I'm doing. I want to hear your perspective. And asking for help. I have a whole list of people, whether they're in my brokerage, that I've met, that I know are awesome. They do a good job, and I definitely see them as a model to follow. And I can reach out to them anytime and ask for help and questions. And obviously you have your broker for legal questions, but we all know, like, just like the day-to-day, like, hey, like, I'm struggling here. Is this okay? Is this normal? And just getting that validation, but also that hard conversation where it's like, hey, like, you're hurting because I can see you're not doing enough, or you're not doing this. So all of that plays into being young, and just realize, like, you chose to do this industry, like, stick with it, have the plan, set the goals, and just keep working at it day by day. And with that being said, I am always here when you are looking to move to eXp Realty. If you make that decision, or if you just want to reach out to have someone to add to your list and have that conversation, happy to do so. Always here for you, especially those that are like me, trying to figure this out, trying to make it work. Or if you're more experienced and you're trying to reset your career, I'm here for you to have that conversation, or even connect you to those that I feel would be a good fit, because they have been there and done that. So call, text, email, whatever you have to do. And with that, I will see you in the next video.